Hello and welcome to Medicine Across Borders,
where we explore the global tapestry of healthcare
and challenges shaping healthcare systems worldwide.
Share your thoughts and rate us on our social platforms to help us continue bringing you content on global healthcare.
Today, I'm joined by my friends from the Medical University of Silesia. So can you please introduce yourself?
Hi, everyone. So first of all, I would like to thank Taha for giving me this opportunity to be in the podcast and to share my experience. So my name is Abdullah, and I am a third-year medical student at the Medical University of Silesia, and I am from Pakistan.
Okay, so I'm just gonna start off with a simple question, basically. Like, if you're in Poland, the first thing that people ask you is why Poland? So, what were your thoughts about this? Why did you choose Poland, man?
I mean, at first I wanted to study in Pakistan, from the start, had planned everything down, and I was actually I was actually applying to the medical schools in Pakistan, and I was almost done with the application process. But then I found it online that you could also study medicine in English in European countries, and that kind of fascinated me. This idea fascinated me because alongside studying medicine, I can get to travel and explore different places. So I just looked it up online, and there were multiple options to choose from: Poland, Czech Republic, Hungary. And out of all these options, Poland stood out to me, and it seemed the most familiar and the most reasonable destination. So I applied to the schools here and got into Medical University of Silesia. The reason was to study medicine alongside. I wanted to travel and I wanted to explore a different culture. So that was the main motivation.
Okay, so you chose the Medical University of Silesia. So I got a question. Is it hard to get into the university? Like, what's the admission process like? Can you tell us about that?
Well, it's different from year to year. When I applied, it was fairly simple. So you have to fulfill all the requirements. So whereas if you go to the website, you'll find all the list of the requirements, and the university asks you, for example, you have to legalize the documents and stuff like that. Depending on the status of your education. So, for example, I did Pakistani board. I studied my high school from Pakistan, so I had to show them a certificate of English proficiency. So I had to do IELTS, and then I took a test. Like the Medical University of Silesia conducts a test, and it was in the form of interview, and it was simplified. From my experience, no, it wasn't that hard. But from what I'm hearing from other students, is that it is getting difficult for me year to year. Students have a friend who applied last year, and she didn't get accepted. So
So
it depends.
Only the best then.
Yes, 100%.
Okay, so tough competition then in this university, I would suggest. I would think so.
It is getting increasingly difficult to get into the university because more and more people are applying to Poland, to medical Silesia now. Because back at the time when I applied 2 years ago, I mean, I don't recall if there were many students, but now the student number has increased. The number of applicants have increased. So yeah.
Yeah, because I applied last year, I guess, as well. And during that time, I applied for dental, and there weren't many dental students, but I do remember the questions being very hard in the admission process. But although I would like to point out the fact that the professors who were doing the interview for they were surprisingly very chill, nice. They were, trying to bring me at ease. They were like, take a deep breath. It's okay. You know the answer. And even if I messed up, they were helping me. So I don't think it's quite difficult. I mean, the questions would be difficult, but the professors are actually helping you in the interview. So it's a first class.
Yeah, I think they also, the university do put an effort to make the admission process smooth for you. But then, there's competition,
Yeah, there's a lot of people applying, but if you know your basics, I would say easy to get in.
Yes.
Yeah, just have a good grip on your basics. Okay, so you've been studying in this university for 3 years now. You're a third year, right?
Yes, I'm going to start third year now.
Yeah. So how does this university feel in terms of first, let's say, education basis?
I mean, it's just like every other medical university. I have like friends like who are studying in UK, in Pakistan, in India, in Georgia, and they all say that the medical school is all self-learning. You learn the stuff on your own. You cannot expect a professor to teach you everything. And that's the same thing. That's the case with the medical university of Silesia. The professor will give you the direction, and then you have to do the learning on your own. If you're passionate, you may reach out to the professor and ask them questions, or if you're stuck somewhere, and they're very helping. Like if you reach out to them, they help you. Um, Besides that, I mean, the second thing which I think students will be concerned about is the communication barrier, the language. So if like the 2 years that I've studied, all the professors that I had, majority of the professors are fairly good in English. I didn't feel like there was like they lacked in communication. They did not know English. But there were some professors, but I think that's something that is expected of Poland because you're coming to study in a country where English is not the first language. So yeah, I mean, I would say it's fairly good. Professors do put an effort. If you ask them questions, they're always going to help you. Um, I mean, and obviously it's not perfect. Like you cannot expect like it's not ideal or like it's really good. But I mean, it's a decent university. I would say the education level is decent.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of enjoyed my first year at this point here. So, okay. So the exam process, I have to ask because I just gave my exams, and to be fair, they weren't that difficult to as compared from a healthcare university, but they were a bit tricky for some people. So how did your exam? Because you're in the medical sector, which is the hardest anyone can say. Then, if you want to study medicine, you study like 20 hours a day. So, how do you find medicine?
So as I still did not start my third year, I completed the first 2 years now. And the way it works so I'm in the international program. Those who are coming to medical university studies, there's one thing you have to know that university has two kinds of programs, international and European program. And both of these programs are for the English division students. The differences is the way they're structured. So international program, the first 2 years you study pre-medicine. So the workload or the study load is not as much compared to, I would say, other medical universities, because the first 2 years you're still studying all the pre-medical stuff like physics, chemistry, although you start biochemistry in second year, biostatistics and all that. So I mean, it wasn't that challenging as opposed to students starting their first year in, let's say, in Poznan in Gdansk, where they start anatomy, histology. But from what I heard, since I'm going to start third year is when we actually start with the anatomy, physiology, and all those preclinical subjects. Like it is hard, and like students study all day. Like students who go into third year, I barely see them like going outside or having fun. They're in this university study room and the library. They're like studying 24/7. Uh, but the
Yeah,
first 2 years, I didn't find it too challenging. Like it was doable.
yeah. I mean, for us, we had like in the first year we have anatomy, histology, and all the basically for dental students it's kind of just like the European version, you know. And we did anatomy, histology, and the basic subjects, and like a bit of clinical stuff. But to be fair, I mean, yeah, I think the first few years are hard, but as you progressed further, they just, drop the load. And I like about universities that we have patient-to-patient interaction in the dental. It just starts by, like third year, even like second year and sometimes, and then third year, fourth year, fifth year, it's just practice, practice, practice. And I like the practical part because not many universities in Poland would offer that, but I like the Silesia part that for dental they do. And yeah, I don't really think the examination was, would that be hard in that practical sense. But yeah, I agree with the fact that, yeah, you have to study part of the preclinical subjects because, oh my God, anatomy, I remember the first time it was funny. Uh, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of students complaining about anatomy. Especially the pin test.
Oh,
Is
it is the pin test. The pin tests are the fun ones.
a lot of
You know the pin is here. but there are like so many muscles, and you're like, oh, it's gonna be either muscle A or B. Turns out it's muscle number E. So we're close enough, but but it's like still you have to be very perfect in that test. But I think all universities in Poland have that, and it's a great way, because once you do the test, you're like getting confident that you won't forget it.
Yeah, like 100%. Like if you make it through the pen test, so that means you've learned the stuff from anatomy, and now everything is like in your mind, and you can recall the all the stuff you've learned very quickly, which is really important if you want to be like a very knowledgeable doctor.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so apart from the exams, I want to ask that what are the kind of like the research opportunities in this university?
Well, yes, like the university does offer lots of research opportunities. So specifically for research, there's one student scientific society. It's a society which kind of organizes research, and also they organize lots of research conferences. So if a student is interested, they can join the student scientific society, and they can work with a professor. Professors are usually the tutors, and you work with the professor if you want to get your publication done, or you get yourself involved in the research. Work as an authorship. You take your role as as an author, or you collect all the data. But university does provide you. So the Student Scientific Society, it's fairly easy to join. You just like have to go to their website, fill in the form, and like what I feel like, because I had a meeting with the head of the doctoral school and the head of the Student Scientific Society, that really want to bring in some English students from the English division to take part in research.
Yeah, I think that
And
would help quite a lot in their portfolio, once they're applying like the resume.
yeah,
It's gonna be gold like you researched in some stuff, and I'm
and
happy that Poland in every university, I think this is available. It's called the STN, right? And it's available in almost all universities. So that's a great gold move when it comes to healthcare professions, because it's kind of nice, once you're applying for a specialization or anywhere, and after you get your degree, it's a good symbol that you researched about something. And I kind of like this initiative taken by Poland at this point. Yeah.
Yeah, it uplifts your CV, and there's another way you can get involved, which I think is a more fun way, and it would interest a lot of students, is you can join IFMSA. So you can join IFMSA, so you have to do some social work, like you organize some events, you help students settle in, especially like the students the new intake, and you get points based on the work you do, and then you can use those points and go for research exchange, like in different countries. So I know students who go to Portugal, Spain, um, different countries. So you can get to do research, and also besides that, you also get to travel and meet some new and interesting people. So yeah.
Yeah, like the Erasmus programs.
Yeah,
So
IDFS is like the organization which does that. Like it's a wonderful organization. So yeah.
okay, so enough about the university talk. Let's talk about you now. So how's like your life as a general student of medicine? Like what's your daily routine? And since you came from like Pakistan, how was the transition experience like, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah, so transition was was massive, because I grew up in Pakistan and Middle East for the most part of my life, actually the whole life. And when I came to Poland, it was my first time in a European country. And for me, it was like I'm in an unknown territory. I did not know anyone, so I was entirely on my own. The first thing that I struggled with is language.
Mhm.
I was even to this day, like I use Google Translate, and sometimes it doesn't work, so I have to use my sign language. Go straight, right, straight, left, go here.
Yeah.
It's confusing, right? It's a challenge. Yes, like it's Pakistan and Poland, they're very different. So the way people behave, interact, the way they communicate, the way they think, everything just like so different, 180 degrees different. So yeah, it was challenging. It took me a bit of time to adjust, but now I'm used to the environment, and I feel like it's my second home now. As far as like my routine is concerned, my routine is like so we have classes throughout the week, so from like Monday to Friday. So we go to the university, then I do my daily chores, and there's one good thing that I liked about Poland is that people here are very active. So there's more culture towards fitness. And when I came to Poland, I also started working towards the fitness area of my life. And so now it's my habit and something that I do daily. So I go for runs. So university runs, daily chores, and I'm also a part of the student. I was part of the student government. So the first 2 years, I was kind of in the organizing events. So sometimes, and I had these meetings with some students, with some organizations, and I was busy organizing events. And yeah, like whenever, especially during weekends, we play cricket. Every Friday we play cricket. So we organize cricket tournaments, I have so much fun playing cricket. And then like Saturday, Sunday, let's say if it's not the exam season, then usually you'll find me outside with a friend, like in their apartment, we're watching a movie or going around, or just chilling at home or doing the daily chores. It's productive. Sometimes it is lazy, but yeah, it's a routine that I really like, and I'm enjoying it.
So yeah, you told me everything except the part that you study. So it's kind of funny that a medicine student's like, I party, and I've never mentioned study before. I mean, I think.
I mean, I just generally describe my routine. I have like studying incorporated in my routine, but you'll find me studying hard just only before exams.
Oh, just only for exams. Yeah, that's I think 90% of the students here actually.
That's 99%, not even 99% of the students.
Yeah. But I kind of like it, just is 2 weeks before the exam and you just open the book and then you're like, oh my God, where has this been my whole life? But
as long as you pass the exam, you do good, you know the stuff, you're good to go.
yeah, but like there's a thing that I noticed that unlike other universities in Poland, the Silesian University actually has a 70% passing rate, but the rest of them have 60%.
I think it's the same like in other universities as well. That's what I heard.
I would disagree on that because from my friends are in other universities, and well, I did first year medicine from Poznan when I was in Poznan University, and it was 60% at that time. And when I came for dental studies here, and I'm thinking like, wow, 70%, buck up, kid, no free time, just study the first 2 years and then party the rest.
Yeah. It actually depends. Yeah, you'll find some subjects where the passing percentage is set to 70. But it depends on the subjects, to be honest, and on the professor. Sometimes, like if the class doesn't do good in the exams, the professor can also lower down the passing threshold to, let's say, 65%, sometimes to 60%. And then there are subjects whose passing threshold is 60%. But yeah, like for most of the subjects have 70%, and which is scary. And so you really have to know the stuff to pass, right?
Yeah, but I mean, if you just study from day one, it doesn't pile up, I would say, and then it's easier.
Yeah, don't be like me who studies just before the exam.
We should not be like Abdullah, even though he's passing. Let's not go there.
You don't want to be stressed out. Believe me, it's really bad. Like study from day one. Be consistent.
Yeah, a little bit a day. Just first day, open the cover of the book. Second day, the first page, and before you know it, you can complete the book in 100 days.
100%.
So, yeah, okay. So you mentioned that you were in the student government. So what was your role in the government? And like, what is a student government for some people new to Polish culture, I would say?
Student government is like association which represents students. So we are responsible to organize events. We represent students. If there's any collective concern the students want to raise to the administration, so we act as a channel. Besides that, as I said, we organize events. We act as a channel, and we also help. We take some necessary initiatives. For example, we feel like there needs to be a sports society. There needs to be a multicultural society. So we take those necessary initiatives as well. But it's mainly for the students and representing those students. So my role, I was the president of the student government. So I became part of the SGA in second semester, and I was in first year. And I was a part of the SGA. I stayed the president for almost like 1.5 years, and now I left it. But yeah.
Wow. So I'm pretty sure you learned like
you got a whole new prospect on life after that, dealing with people, because being a president is kind of hard, isn't it?
Yes, it was challenging because like you have like a whole responsibility of the English division on your head, and if you don't do anything, you're held accountable by the students. Like they start spreading the word out. This guy didn't do anything to the president and all that. So you're always under this pressure. So yeah, I learned a lot. I had to deal with I dealt with a lot of people. I got the chance to meet with some of the high officials of the university, rector, vice rector, and I got to know them personally as well. And I met with a lot of students. And the best part about me being the president is that I got introduced to the Polish culture, and I met lots of Polish people, and they really appreciated some of the initiatives I took. So yes, it was a great learning experience, and I do not regret any bit of me giving my time to the SGA.
Oh, that's cool. Okay, so I wanted to ask, what were the challenges that you faced while you were when you joined the university? Because of course, Poland is a whole different world, as you said, from Pakistan. And one of the challenges, most people face, is kind of like a diversity issue here, because there are people from all over the world, and they are all from different cultures. So it's fair enough to say that, it's kind of hard to understand everyone. So how did you manage?
Initially, when I came, yes, it was hard because as I directly came from Pakistan, and it was my first time living abroad, all by myself. And at that time, there weren't many Pakistanis, and initially at that time, now there are a lot of Pakistanis. Like anyone who's coming from Pakistan, they should not feel that you'll be left out in any way. You'll find lots of Pakistanis, and they'll help you. They're great people. But yeah, initially it was difficult. So it was just the challenge is to make was to make friends, because as I said, it was my first time, so I find it difficult to push myself out of comfort zones, but it's something that I had to do. So I did push myself out of comfort zone, and I came across really great people, really helpful people, and they helped me to settle in. For example, I met a guy, Saad, who's a Pakistani. He was about to graduate. He helped me settle in. He introduced me to lots of people. And yeah, it was some of the people that I met at the university after I pushed myself out from the comfort zones, and I met with those people, and they really helped me settle in, introduced me to the university environment, helped me to study, helped me to find the resources that are necessary to pass the university exams. They helped me to connect with people, and yeah, the social getting to know people was a challenge initially.
Okay, and I noticed that as a person who's been to Southern Asia, and a person who's now in Poland myself, I noticed that there's a big gap in transportation, because over here I noticed that some universities are, there's different buildings or departments of the same university, and they're scattered around the city. So how was that? Because in Pakistan, I would assume that they're all together in one designated area, but in Poland, they're miles apart from each other, and then you could either walk there or take the bus. So how did you find that experience?
I mean, that was something very different for me, because back in Pakistan, all the medical schools that I saw, they have all the for the most part, they have everything at one place, like the medical school, the hospital. But here at the university, as in Poland, it's so different, where you have hospitals literally in a different city. So I had a few classes where I had to commute to a different city. But I mean, I kind of like the transportation system here. It's very easy, and it's fairly easy to use. Everything is on digital, so you just need to know the app. You download the app, and you put in the location where you want to go. You just go up on the bus, and it's very simplified, and it's cheap as well. So yeah, I mean, the transportation, even though the places are far apart sometimes, but you can have most of those classes in fifth and sixth year, not in your first 4 years. It's just few classes, but still, the transportation makes it easy for you to transport, for you to just get to those places.
Yeah, that's true. Plus, I remember my experience that there were some people hiding among the crowd. And once you said that the transportation was cheap, to me, cheap transportation is free transportation, you know? Just hop on the bus and go from one place to another. And I remember this happened in Poznan that at one point there was a ticket inspector sitting in the bus, but no one recognized him because he was in normal clothing. And he just like came up to me and says, "Ticket." And I'm just like looking at him like, uh-oh. The whole time I was like, yes, I don't know Polish. Excuse me, excuse me. And I just like bolted off the bus. But it's kind of fun experience knowing that there are actual ticket checkers inside the bus. Sometimes you get checked, sometimes you don't. And it's like,
So, did you get fined or you left?
oh no, I'm brown. I left.
Uh,
There was no way I was gonna get caught.
I
And
got caught. I had to pay like 300 zloty.
oh my days, that's like $30 at this point.
That's
What?
more like 70, $80. Like, yeah, that
It's
was that
$20
was
more, yeah.
cost me a lot. It's just I forgot to buy the ticket. I was sitting in the bus, and I turned back, and there was a guy wearing like a formal dress, and he was holding a card reader. He was going to people. I just didn't take him seriously. I was listening to the songs, and suddenly after a minute he comes to me, ticket. I was like, that's kind of I got a bit nervous. Then okay, let me buy the ticket, and then no, it's too late. You have to pay the fine. So then that's how it was for me, and then I had to pay the fine. But
Yeah,
anyway,
so
but you should always
here's
buy the ticket. That's something you should do. It's an
yeah, I mean,
activity.
we should buy the ticket. And here's a piece of advice for every person coming to Poland from foreign countries. Make sure you find a guy who's checking the tickets and then get off the bus if you don't want to buy the ticket. I mean, it's bad, but it's best to buy the ticket. But well, we're students, we get it, you know what happens. So, you
How
know,
many use Lottie? They're already giving you 50% discount, so why shouldn't you buy a ticket? It made it cheap for you.
yeah, but you know, we're broke students. Welcome to Poland. Okay, and yeah, so any other extracurricular activities that you're into?
Yes, so we play cricket like every Friday. We all like Desi people, or we also invite some Polish and Arabs as well. Besides that, I'm into running, so whenever I have time, so usually I run every day, so like 6 to 7 times a week actually. So run, yes.
Wow, I mean, at this point, you should just start a club, you know, and just make a whole community about it.
I actually am working on it right now because I really want to bring more people into running. Because it's a really healthy activity, and also will help people socialize and get to know more people. So working on it, yes. Soon you'll see a running club in Katowice.
Oh, that would be gold, you know, incorporate everyone, even the Polish people, you know, the not from
Everyone.
this university. And okay, so once you came to Poland, what was the thing that caught you most off guard that you didn't expect at all?
Caught me off guard.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, to be honest, food. I knew that I'm going to a different country. I have to do the cooking all by myself. But not expected it's going to be that bad, and I struggled a lot. So whoever's coming to Poland, you should make sure you know how to cook, because people who brought up in a Pakistani or Indian family, like South Asian families, we're not. Our parents never teach us how to cook, right? And then when we go to abroad, I don't know, like that's when we get the realization. I wish I had learned a little bit of cooking. So that was one of the challenge. Second, as I also said in like the previous my answers, the language.
Yeah.
I just thought that I'll get around using Google translators, but sometimes even the Google translator doesn't work. So sometimes I end up using my sign language, like go straight, right, left. So yeah, that's that. These are two of the things that caught me off guard, and I did not expect it that it was going to be this bad or this challenging. But
Yeah, I mean,
like, what things caught you off guard?
that's a fun question. Okay. Well, I would say the bathroom signs. Definitely the bathroom signs. in other countries, it's usually a male or female sign for a bathroom. But in this country, it's like a circle and a triangle, basically. And if you're like me, you don't know that a triangle stands for man, and you might end up going to a circle designated bathroom. And it's a fun experience when you're trying to explain to ladies, "I man, what you doing in bathroom?" And oh my god, that's one of the funniest things that happened. And plus, it actually caught me off guard that Polish people actually do have a sense of humor. If you like come across Polish people, in my experience, they're very quiet and they don't talk much at first. But once start talking with them, start making jokes, it turns out they have a very dark sense of humor inside. And I remember there was this one kid, he's one of my good friends actually. I met him at the gym, and he told me that 1,000 in Polish, it's like tysiąc. But he told me a different word. It wasn't a very polite word, and I used that word in front of a Zabka cashier. Basically, for those who are coming to Poland, you'll find Zabka everywhere. It means frog, and it's like their staple grocery store, I would say, or small market, and it's everywhere. So good memories, hot dogs, good hot dogs. But
Whoever Poland, just make sure you learn the bathroom signs so that you don't end up in a situation like Taha. You don't want to be in a women's.
Yeah. I mean, trust me that isn't the worst thing, but I'm gonna keep it mellowed down for now. Let's save it for some other episodes. But as I was saying, basically, I used that word to the Zapka cashier, and she got pretty angry. She was like looking at me. "What are you saying? This is bad words." And I was saying, no, 1,000, but I was saying in Polish as I thought it meant something else. And to this day, I think she hates me. I haven't been back there again. So I think that's what caught me off guard the most, that Polish people have a hidden sense of humor inside of them. I didn't expect that from the first time I met them, but I kind of like it here, to be fair. And what about you? Like, how would you describe Polish people?
I mean, whoever comes to Poland at first, they'll get the impression that Polish people just like to stay in their own shells. They don't like to talk, but it's not the case. Just like you just have to break the ice. Once you make them feel comfortable, you will
Uncomfortable. Okay, you
comfortable.
messed up. You messed up.
Just make them feel comfortable, and once you do that, it's just like they'll open up with you, and then they will help you, and they will laugh with you, and they're humorous people. They're funny. So just have to break that ice, and once you do that, they're very nice, and they help you a lot in Poland.
Yeah, I would say so, because I can't really remember a bad experience with a Polish person. Funny experiences though, and pranks, a lot of them, but no bad experiences. Polish people are very nice, to be fair. Okay, so as we're coming to the end of our podcast, I just wanted to say, for the students who are planning to come to Poland, the first year students, then that will make them. So what is your advice to them?
First of all, just don't base your opinions on the reviews you see on Reddit, and they're not true. I mean, every other university has some kind of issues, and if you go anywhere, like even in UK and even in US, and it makes the students think that the university is the worst, and then they write these reviews on Reddit. So don't rely on those reviews. Try reaching out to the students of studying at that university. Let's say if you're applying to Medical University of Silesia, see if you can find the contacts on, let's say, Facebook, Instagram. We can reach out to the dean's office. They'll help you connect with some of the members of the student government. You can schedule a call with them, and they'll help you. They'll guide you. They'll tell you the insights about the university, and so this way you'll make an informed decision. Personally, I feel like the Medical University of Silesia, it's a decent place. There are research opportunities, and there are students who graduated from this university, and they're practicing in UK, Ireland, Sweden, Germany. So yeah, the degree you get from this university is recognized everywhere. So you won't have any problem, let's say, practicing in, let's say, US, UK. You just have to pass the exams, and yeah. Like that's the advice I would give to the students. Like at the end, it's up to you. Just like try reaching out to the students, and so that you can make an informed decision, and that you know where you're coming from and what you should expect from this university.
Okay, thank you so much for that insight. And one more advice I would give to students is learn to cook before coming to Poland, or peanut butter jelly sandwiches. That's the only thing you're going to be having for the first year. I mean, there are restaurants here, but due to the time crunch, it's best to cook sometimes. So learn to cook, people, and share it with other people as well. You know, I would like to try other dishes. So, okay. It seems we're ending the podcast here. So thank you, Abdullah. A podcast based on all the pros and cons of the healthcare profession and the journey to reach them. And I was your host. My name is Taha, and good night, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Goodbye.